The Moon at Dawn. That EP came out a couple months ago. February?
Yeah, February officially. March streaming everywhere.
The main song on there that I listened to was West Side Story. Now that's a song about your parents.
Yeah.
The first time I listened to it, you know, because sometimes, you know, as a listener, you could be a little superficial, you know, not too deep, and you think like, oh, is he talking about himself? No, that was about your parents.
Yeah.
And how things kind of came into place, and especially what got you here today. When you were putting together that EP, was that the main focus? It's 3 songs.
Yeah.
But, you know, would you say that was the main one, was to get the iLLiJAh Moon story out there for real? Because in the past EPs, Concussion and Exposed, that, you know, seems like it was more hard hitting tracks, bass, and, you know, you're talking your talk.
Yeah.
But then this one, it seemed like it was a little bit laid back, like, hey, listen to me, this is what it is. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes. The Moon at Dawn is literally supposed to be, even the name itself is a play on words. The Moon at Dawn is supposed to be me just starting to be seeing the light. Like, oh, who is this? Like I was telling you, like the iLLiJAh Moon era didn't come until like 2021. And like these songs too, they've been around for a minute. I won't lie. It's been a few years now. And West Side Story was one that like I wanted to get right, because it is, like I said, it's like an origin story, you know, and I start with that because it's like, all right, this is who I am. This is my parents. This is where they came from. This is how it happened, you know, with a little dramatic twist in the way that I ended it. But that was kind of like the way we start, is like telling you this is where I'm from. And it is a West Side Story, because it's like I was born out here. I'm born and raised LA. They came here. I'm first generation. So it's like I'm not only born and raised out here, I'm the first one, you know? So for me, that was important to let that be known. And like I said, The Moon at Dawn is a play on itself as well, because the producer's name is Epic the Dawn.
All right, well then there you go. All right, hey, see, that part I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because I was going to be deep. I was going to be like, oh, okay, the Moon at Dawn, that's part of his name. Is he talking about waking up to a new day? Is this a new chapter? What does that mean? Right. But now you're talking about the producer. See, I didn't even know that part.
See, that was, yeah, so that was like, yeah, and that was like the first step of it, right? But it was also like, I like the idea of it. It's like, it is like the moon. It's like when the moon and the sun are just like competing, and it's like, all right, who's gonna come out first, you know? And like, to me, it was like, that is just my intro. It's just my beginning, you know, because it's it's like the beginning of the day or end of the night, however you want to call it. But for me, it's like, it's like half the glass, is it half full or half empty? You know, for me, it's like, it's half full. So me telling you my story is just like a quick intro. I needed those songs out too, because I needed to just kind of like get my like storytelling part out, you know, and now I can kind of put together the new stuff that's brewing.
I'm gonna list off several tracks that stick out to me and that are personally my favorites. Distracted, Easy Route, wow. Games, which gets people hyped.
Yeah.
Cruisin' Waves.
Oh yeah.
Mind Blown, and Absence.
Oh wow, okay.
Which one of those for you was the one that made you really dig deep and that you had the most fun with putting together? I know that's a lot, that's 6, but...
The most fun?
You're right.
Ooh. Either Distracted or Cruisin' Waves. Because Distracted, I finally got to tap into like an iLLiJAh Rashad vibe, and I'm a huge iLLiJAh Rashad fan. So like, to me, that was like, all right, like, let me tap into this side. And I wanted something catchy. That's when I was like, oh man, I can make these catchy hooks now, you know, like I kind of get the idea of what I'm trying to get at. And I started with that, but then Cruisin' Waves was fun because I like the literal idea of the song was to make a song that me and my homies can cruise to.
And you look at the imagery on social media, I'm like, yeah, this man's West Coast. Pretty much put it out, I'm like, yeah, this man's West Coast for real. Because I think that's definitely the vibe that you were giving off with it. There's not a video for it, like for Distracted, but at the same time, it definitely you were trying to put off or put out there this, like, you know, this is what we do out here.
Absolutely.
And this is how I'm vibing out here, especially on the West Coast. Because for me, like, I'm still navigating it a little bit, and being over here for a little over 2 years now, hearing the music. I've always listened to West Coast music, but at the same time, it's you know, you as an artist, as yourself, you know, it seems like you were establishing who you were with that one too.
Yeah.
Mind blown, or more so Absence. Absence had to do with your grandfather, if I'm correct?
That was like my dad. That was like dealing with when he, like we were talking about earlier, how when he got deported, it was just like trying to fill in those gaps. And like, it's also like vaguely and coded, I guess you could say, talking about like growing up with Pops, because like he had his own issues too, and like we didn't go into it, but like my dad was gang related, so very gang related, and you know, he got shot at 16 and he had to get his leg amputated, so he was an amputee. You know, everybody thought he was like, oh, are you a veteran? He's like, my mom would always be like, from the streets, maybe, like, you know, and it was just like, that's who it was. And like, he wasn't a wheelchair guy. He was like crutches, bro. Like, and that was his whole thing. And having him in my life, like I said, and then just suddenly not, it was a big like disruption. And, you know, there was other, you know, personal stuff that's like he would be around and then not around for, but that's like a little too personal, so we'll just leave it like that.